everyone, Tim and Katie coming to you from the Promised Land. We are here at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio for our very first visit ever. We finally made it. Years trying, and we finally did it. The good news is we are here for 2 thrill-packed days. Have fast lane for both of those days. The bad news is twofold. 1, it is 4th of July weekend, which means it's gonna be super busy. And 2, in the time it's taken to do this intro, we have lost our early entry lead. So we're gonna keep it short and snappy. Let's go ride some roller coasters. It's gonna be a super fun time. We are gonna have both days packed into one awesome mega vlog for you, so let's get moving. I'm Tim.
I'm Katie.
And we do things like this.
Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Cedar Point is known as the coaster capital of the United States. There are 18 roller coasters here, and we're gonna try to get them all. Fortunately, we do have fast lane, which is gonna make it a lot easier despite the crowds. Unfortunately, it is so hot. We picked probably the hottest weekend we could possibly be here, but this is when we could go. Our top priority this morning is gonna be knocking out the coasters that are the most fickle, that are most likely to go down due to technical issues or due to weather. For us, we believe that to be Top Thrill 2, which you see there in the distance, and Siren's Curse. One more thing I should probably say just to set expectations about this video. I am aware that Cedar Fair and or Six Flags has set a precedent of allowing the meta glasses on the attractions. That is currently the only way you can film on ride. I don't like it. We won't be taking any on-ride POVs today. Our vlog today is pretty much just gonna be about our first time at Cedar Point and all the experiences we have therein. Top Thrill 2 is an Intamin multi-launch strata coaster that reaches 120 miles per hour and stands 420 feet tall. This coaster is currently the 2nd tallest and the 3rd fastest in the entire world, so it should come as no surprise that loose articles are strictly forbidden on ride. There are no lockers or cubbies on the ride platform, so you'll either need to rent a locker or pass your belongings off to a fellow parkgoer before joining the queue. Well, that was a hell of a credit to start the day with. Let me tell you what, it's fast and it's tall, and I was white knuckling most of it. But it was awesome.
It was great, it was very
really
forceful. I kind of felt like I was in space training after I got off.
I would say it does have a little jitter. It's probably comparable to Storm Runner at Hershey Park. I think it's about as smooth as that, but much taller, much faster.
I liked
much
it
more
better
dynamic elements
than my last ride I ever did on King to Ka, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%. It is way better than King to Ka. We never got to try Top Thrill 1.0, so I don't know how it compares to that, but based on our own experience, I think we can say definitively it's a good upgrade.
Yeah.
And we're 1 credit into 18. Woo! Our next credit is gonna be Siren's Curse. This is the newest coaster at Cedar Point, the only roller coaster in the park with onboard audio, and the tallest, longest, and fastest tilt coaster in North America. There are no cubbies on the platform, but there are some small lockers in the queue right before you enter the station. These are just large enough for any hats, sunglasses, phones, and any other little objects that you may have taken through the queue with you. Wow.
Oh.
It's amazing how much a little theming will do for an attraction. Let me tell you what. This is already gonna be controversial, and then it's gonna get more controversial, so buckle up. First of all, I think that beats Top Thrill 2 for me, right off the bat.
For me, absolutely.
And then, on top of that, I think it might even beat Velocicoaster.
Oh.
It's not as intense. It's lower to the ground.
It's shorter.
It's shorter. It's not as fast. There's a lot of metrics it doesn't measure up on, but I am all about that theming. And the on-ride soundtrack, the whole story, the theming in the queue, that is a whole package attraction for me, and it's fun and thrilling. It had a lot of Pantheon-style whip.
It has whip, but it's smooth.
Yeah.
There's no jerking. There's no headbanging.
It's easily the smoothest ride we've done so far.
Yeah.
Granted, we haven't done that many, but I think a lot of the ones we're planning to hit later in the day are going to be a lot rougher than that. Now, we got up for breakfast pretty early this morning, so although it's still a bit early for lunch, we're already getting pretty hungry. So we went with the quickest and easiest option. We also activated our Ride and Refresh drink bands, which, as you'll see later, will become our saving grace as the sun gets higher and higher. Although, I am more than a little worried about stuffing myself before I get on Millennium Force. For more than one reason. Millennium Force is the original Giga Coaster. It broke the 300-foot glass ceiling and 5 world records when it originally opened more than 25 years ago, and recently made some waves in the coaster community when the restraint system was replaced with shorter, tighter seat belts. Unfortunately, this has slowed operations, and it's frustrated a lot of would-be riders who'd previously been able to fit in the seat just fine. Adjustments aside, though, we were delighted to find that this coaster is still operating smoothly and steadily as if it had just been opened yesterday. No lockers or cubbies in the station though, so be sure to leave your loose articles behind. That ride was rad. I cannot believe how well that ride is operating. It's 26 years old, opened in 2000, one of the earliest Giga coasters, if not the very first. It's still running like a dream.
That back row ride was one of my favorite back row rides I've ever done.
I will also answer the question that I'm sure is on everyone's mind. We sat in the very back row of the yellow train. I have a 36-inch waist, and I had no trouble buckling the seatbelt. Operations are slow because of the seatbelt change. I don't like them. I don't think it was a good idea. But if you're worried about it, 36 inches is okay. I can't vouch for anything higher than that. Rougarou originally opened as Mantis, one of the tallest and fastest stand-up coasters in the world, before eventually being converted into Cedar Point's first B&M floorless in 2015. Small cubbies are available on the ride platform, but they're only large enough for shoes and loose articles, so larger bags will still need to be left with a non-rider or stashed in a park locker. We're not huge fans of B&M floorless models overall, so take this with a grain of salt, but our one-sentence review for Rougarou is tolerable, but not enjoyable. It's just a little headbangy. It's not our style. Iron Dragon, on the other hand, was a bit of a surprise. Originally debuted in 1987, this ride has 2 lift hills and no inversions, giving it both a decent ride duration and broad family approval. There aren't many aero suspended coasters still operating, and Iron Dragon is the oldest of the remaining 5. There are no bins, cubbies, or lockers in the queue or on the ride platform. The closest locker bank is across the walkway at Siren's Curse, so best just to leave your loose articles there. You know, it really wasn't awful, and I really expected it to be. It's definitely stylistic.
And it's not short.
No.
It's like 2 rides in one. You go up the lift hill, you do a whole thing,
2
and then
lift
you
hills.
do a whole nother thing.
I would say it's worth doing for the credit if you've never done a credit like it before. So if nothing else, if it's got a short wait, jump on, make sure you get the credit, and then if you're done with it, you're done with it. Call it a day.
Gotta tell you, this Ride and Refresh package is paying dividends today. It is hot.
For those of you who may be counting at home, we've now done 5 coasters of the park's alleged 18. Not a crazy impressive number, but I feel pretty good about it, given that it is oppressively hot and it's a holiday weekend. I know we're gonna wanna do some re-rides, so Siren's Curse for sure, Top Thrill probably, have not even touched Steel Vengeance yet. We're taking a shade break right now because it is peak heat and it feels awful. Remember to hydrate if you come on a peak heat day as well. I think the plan is to go to Valravn next because it's pretty close by, and then we're gonna try to knock out Maverick and Steel Vengeance because that will be all 6 that are on our Super Wowie Fastlane Plus. Tomorrow we have Fastlane without the Plus, so we can get on most attractions, but not all. I kid you not when I say we have only seen about 40% of the park so far. There is so much more to this place than you might think. That is why we set aside 2 days for this trip though. We knew we wouldn't be able to do everything in one day. Might be able to do all the coasters in one day if you're really dedicated and you have Fastlane Plus, but you can't do it all. And there's more to see here than just the coasters. It just so happens that we're here for the coasters first and foremost, and then everything else is secondary. Valravn was once the tallest, fastest, and longest B&M dive coaster in the world. All 3 records have been broken since its opening date in 2016, but it's still a great ride. Small cubbies are available on the platform for shoes and loose articles, but they're not large enough for bags. So anything bulky will need to be stored in a locker before entering the queue. So we have 4 other dive coasters to compare Valravn to across all of our experience globally. Of those 4 or 5, I feel like Valravn is probably towards the bottom for me, Iron Menace being the absolute floor.
Yep,
Griffin is just really, really good.
it is.
So that's not a statement of how bad or good Valravn is. It's just to say that most dive coasters we've been on are great, and Valravn is just perhaps a little less great than some of the others that are super great.
One thing today was that we were not held like at the top like at all. Like,
I feel like because of the crowds.
yeah, I think they might not be
We're
doing
speeding
that.
up the
So
drop,
let us
and-
know if that's a thing. If it is, I understand. But I feel like that took a little bit of my experience away.
We were also on the back row, which we don't usually prefer for dive coasters because we do like to see over the edge when we hang. Since we didn't hang, it wasn't a big
didn't really
issue.
matter.
But also, 3rd row had a lot of pull on this particular
And that
attraction.
was nice.
So I don't know. I might actually recommend 3rd row if this is how short the drop is going to be.
Yep.
If it does do the hang when it's less crowded or less busy or operations are a little bit less strained, then front row might be better.
Yep.
We have historically not been huge fans of Cedar Fair and or Six Flags parks because historically they have been rides on concrete. And we're theming fans. So like immersion, world building, ambiance, that's what really sells us on a park. While I feel that theming at Cedar Point is a little bit lacking, I do feel like vibes and ambiance have been pretty much nailed. I do see why people like it here. I do see why people have tried to sell us on Cedar Point for years. I get it. It is cool. It's still not a true theme park, and it's not even my favorite of the amusement parks we've been to, but it is pretty cool.
All clear. Bye.
Welcome to Frontier Town at Cedar Point. And it's so bananas hot, you almost feel like you're actually in the Wild West. Just need a dried tumbleweed to complete the visual. Obviously, we're here for the last 2 coaster credits on the Fastlane Plus program, but before we get to that, we're a little bit munchy, we're a lot dehydrated, so we're gonna take an air conditioning break and grab us some munchies. We're approaching, but not yet at peak heat for the day. We're looking a little rough, we're smelling a lot worse, but it's okay, because we have cooling towels, we have fresh water, and we have chips and queso.
My name's Edgar. My name's Dana. We want to tell you guys, subscribe to Tim and Katie. Smash the subscribe button, hit the like button. Yeah.
All the buttons.
All the buttons.
Good advice.
Notifications on so you know when they post.
Yes.
That's it.
These 2 know what's up.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
So let me tell you guys a story about one of the best coaster experiences we've ever had and one of the worst coaster experiences we've ever had, back to back. Steel Vengeance, I think, was everything it was promised to be. It was wild, it was fast, it was tall, it was intense, but it was also smooth. Now, a lot of people prefer the front row and or the back row because the back row is more intense, the front row is a lot smoother. The problem is that if you get stapled into your seat in the back row, there's all these bunny hops and inversions on Steel Vengeance that are just gonna tear your body apart as you whip around the corners. So that's what happened to me. Unfortunately, I got stapled in the back row, and by the end of the second ride, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I was having a great time because my harness was not too tight.
I think I literally said no more.
Yeah, at the very end, I just hear, please, no more.
The first ride was so good.
funny.
Like, genuinely, it was so good.
That can happen on any ride.
Yeah.
It's not Steel Vengeance's fault.
No, and it's not the ride operator's fault. It's
No.
nobody's fault. It just happened.
Yep.
Unfortunately, my back row ride was not great, and I think I am overall more of a front row person anyway, so perhaps it's best to just wrap it up by saying Steel Vengeance was great, preferred the front row. Well, this looks familiar, doesn't it? How's that comfort collar for you? Maverick might not be as tall as some of its steel brethren across the park, but do not mistake it for a family coaster. This Intamin multi-launch is actually one of the most intense experiences in the entire industry, and has a reputation for leaving first-time riders a little bit breathless. Remarkably, bins are available on the ride platform and fit both large bags and small loose articles. So your bags can actually come with you right into the queue. So y'all have some explaining to do, because I heard nothing but praises about Steel Vengeance specifically as an attraction, and nothing at all about Maverick. And of the two, Maverick is way more intense.
Maverick, my body was not prepared for
You
that
looked
ride.
like you had seen a ghost getting off that ride.
I think I died
You did a
and
little
came
like
back to life.
shake getting off, like an old lady who had just seen the face of God.
The ride stopped and I was like, I don't know if I liked it or I hated it. If I got the chance to ride it again when it wasn't this hot and I wasn't dehydrated, maybe I'd feel differently.
That is a factor, and we have not been considering that in any of our rankings today. It could be that our whole roster is reshuffled when we're properly hydrated and well slept.
But I don't know the next time we'll make it back here. So I'm glad I did it. I feel like I earned a badge of honor from doing it.
Get a pin.
But I don't think that's gonna be a re-ride for me this trip.
And with that, we've also completed the big 6 that are on our Fast Lane Plus system, which means that the rest of the day, anything else we do is gravy, because we plan to hit all the lower tier coaster and attractions tomorrow. We've already done 2 that we didn't plan to do today. Why not do like 1 or 2 more? Now, all things being equal, I do want to tell you guys, we did not have the best night of sleep last night. And as we've been saying, it is oppressively hot today. It's supposed to be a little cooler tomorrow, but no less busy. In fact, significantly more busy is the expectation, as tomorrow is the 4th of July. So before we leave this area, we do want to knock out one more attraction, and that is the Cedar Creek Mine Ride. This may not be the smoothest ride. We also can't use Fast Lane at any tier for this attraction. So we'll just have to wait in the standard queue. That's fine, because it doesn't have much of one. It's like 5-10 minutes, I think.
Welcome back, riders. At this time, please unfasten your seatbelt. Once your lap bar has been unlocked, exit carefully to your right. Thank you for riding Mine Ride, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Cedar Point.
Like a lot of mine trains, it had its smooth parts and its kind of janky rough parts. But altogether, cool layout, nice setting, good family ride, probably one and done.
Had kind of a little Easter egg at the end. Might have been a Haunted Mansion nod.
Oh
actually.
Yeah, a little animatronic
Little
at the end there.
Well, I wasn't gonna tell him it was an animatronic, but secret's out. Quick updates. The sun has gone to bed, but the rain has arrived. It's not too heavy right now, but we are on a weather delay for most of the major attractions, which means they have some insider information. It's gonna get a little heavier. I think we may be done for the day. It may not last, the weather may pass, and the park is open for another few hours, but again, we didn't sleep so good. We're kind of burnt out. This is our sign that it's time to pack it in. But we did a lot today. We did 9 rides, 6 of which were on the Fast Lane system, the Plus system that we had to get through today. So we checked that box, and now we've got 9 more to do tomorrow for the coaster credit completion. Now let's talk accommodations. Most out-of-state visitors and enthusiasts seem to stay at the Hotel Breakers, which is a short walk from a private park entrance right on the peninsula. However, as you might expect, park-adjacent hotel stays on a holiday weekend can get pretty pricey. That being said, the part of Hotel Breakers will instead be played tonight by the Cedar Point Express Hotel. It's not the most extravagant room, but it's really all we need. Let me give you a quick tour. This here is the bedroom. 2 beds, TV, fridge, table, you know the sort. This here is the bathroom. Sink, toilet, and shower. This concludes the tour. Well, the weather's finally set in, and it doesn't look like we'll be going anywhere else tonight. So let's hope that it rains itself out, and tomorrow's a bright, beautiful, sunny day. And we're back for day 2. Today is, in fact, the 4th of July and the 250th. We do have Fast Lane again today, but it is not Fast Lane Plus. It is just the normal basic Fast Lane, which lets us on everything except the Big 6, which is fine. We did the Big 6 yesterday, and we're gonna do 2 more re-rides on 2 Big 6s this morning. So we just did Siren's Curse and Top Thrill 2 back to back. That's probably the last opportunity we'll have to get on either without a very long wait. And I have to say, both running so smoothly and so well this morning. I have never seen operations like this outside of a Disney and a Universal theme park. They're dispatching like 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, sometimes while the previous train is still on the track.
It's been really impressive.
It's pretty impressive. Not all the rides were like that yesterday, but I will say Siren's Curse and Top Thrill 2, we had the same thing to say about yesterday as well.
Yep.
So that might be just because they're new and popular and trendy and they want to get people through quickly. Either way, I'm very grateful. We now have the whole rest of the day to explore the rest of the park and get to everything we didn't get to yesterday. And we've gotten now 9 coasters out of 18. Corkscrew opened in 1976 as the first roller coaster in the world with 3 inversions. And that's about as positive as I can afford to be about this one because I'll tell you what, it's awful. It's just awful. Bags and loose articles both can be left in the designated bins on the ride platform. The rumors are true, it's just awful. So awful is it that we lost almost 25 minutes of our park day waiting for another train to deploy for off-ride footage. No one wants to ride it.
Nope.
It's bad. And speaking of rides that nobody wants to do, Magnum XL-200 is widely known as one of the roughest rides in the parks. I don't know whether or not it will be better or worse than Corkscrew, because Corkscrew was pretty bad. Magnum was actually the very first hypercoaster in the industry, so it's got some years under its belt. It's no wonder it's starting to show its age a little bit. We'll see how it goes. So what do you think, Sport? You want to do it again?
No! That ride was offensive. It insulted me and past generations of my family. Never again.
We saw these hot Cheeto fries advertised, and I don't know if they're gonna be good for me, but they looked really good. So we got them. They were $13. Might not be worth that, but whatever. We're here for a good time, not a long time. We also got a collection of 9 mini corn dogs for a grand total of $30.
I feel like this was supposed to come with a side, but we're not communicating.
We had a miscommunication. It happens. Food is expensive at theme parks. It's not an unknown to us.
Yeah, it's fine. I will eat it. It will sustain me.
That's all we really needed to do. I don't think either of us would say that it's been slow today, but it has not been busy either. Certainly not as busy as we expected for the 4th of July and the 250th. This is a little bit surprising. Not 100% sure it was worth buying Fastlane today. But we already did it. It was part of our package, so we're gonna use it.
Our next ride is going to be the Woody behind me, which is Gemini. It's a racing coaster, and the jury's kind of out whether you need both sides to claim the full credit. But since we have Fastlane, won't take us too long to find out.
Mm-hmm. Worth it in the end.
Step all the way through on red side locator now. Step through. Welcome back to blue side.
First, a very gentle correction. That was not a true Woody. It had wooden supports but steel rails. That being said, awesome ride.
I loved it.
That is a genuine racer because you never know who's gonna win. We actually won both races. We did red side, then blue side. No, blue side, then red side.
Yep.
And both times we won.
Yep.
Which was abnormal for us. There's a bunch of parts in that run where one side will get ahead of the other. It seems to be very much based on the weight of your train.
Yes.
So we
were like, goosh, goosh, like doing this.
And there's a lot of interaction between the two as well. So it's worth doing both sides. Honestly, like, I don't usually say that you have to do both sides of a racing coaster to get the credit.
And I think their tracks are very similar.
They're similar. If you only have time for one, I would say you've got the credit. But if you have time for both,
do both.
There's advantages to doing both. And now we're proud to say we retire the champions. On to the next credit. Welcome to Camp Snoopy, home to 2 kiddie coaster credits, both of which we need to complete our 18. We are not 1,000% sure that we qualify for both of those credits too, because they don't always let adults on the kiddie coasters without kids in tow, and we definitely do not have kids in tow today. So we'll see if we can claim those last 2. If not, then our credit list would only be 16, and that'd make our day a lot easier, but no less fun.
This doesn't look like, this is not the small.
This one I'm not worried about. The other one is the one that I might,
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Welcome back, riders. How was your ride?
Not sure whether this is a remnant of the Creek Cruise ride they used to have or just something that they set up to look at. But in either case, I really like it. It's peaceful, soothing, beauteous. So close. We did manage to get on Woodstock Express, which is the kind of family-looking coaster you just saw. We were not able to get on Wilderness Run, which is the kiddie coaster. Unfortunately, you do need a child or to be riding with a child in order to ride that particular attraction. So we will not be completing all 18 coasters on the credit list today. We will, however, get the 17 for which we qualify. As lovers of nature, water features, and just woodsy vibes, we will always advocate for Camp Snoopy theming over Planet Snoopy theming. It's just something about it feels more whimsical. Getting towards the end of our coaster hunt here, fam. Next one is gonna be the Wild Mouse. It's a little more wild than the standard Wild Mouse because it spins all the way down. Not our favorite kind of ride, but it's right on the shoreline. I bet the views are gonna be great. Wild Mouse is a modern spinning coaster from Zamperla, and arguably the centerpiece of Cedar Point's renovated boardwalk. With these free spinning models, the amount of spinning that you do is always determined by the weight distribution of your car, so no 2 rides are going to be alike. There's no room on the station platform for bags, but the closest locker bank is pretty far away at Gatekeeper, so small bags can actually come with you on the ride, provided they remain secure. It's cute, it's well themed, it's fine for what it is. It's not our kind of ride. Never again, one and done. Gatekeeper sends riders through 6 inversions while seated on either side of the track. The best part of this ride is flipping through the keyholes above Cedar Point's front gate. It's by far one of the coolest wing coaster maneuvers ever designed. Large bags have to be placed in a locker or left with a non-rider before entering the queue, but small cubbies are available on the platform for shoes and loose articles. Same ride, same train, 2 very different ride experiences, as it turns out. I was on the outside of the wing, you were on the inside.
Yeah.
It seemed like the outside might have been a tad rougher than the inside. I did expect it to be a little smoother than it actually was, and that might come down to the height. Like, we've heard a lot about Gatekeeper as a very smooth ride as compared to some of the rougher rides in the park. It was fun, I enjoyed it, but not enough to want to do it again. It's becoming increasingly unlikely that I'll be able to get back on Millennium Force ever again with each passing froyo. I'm just glad it's not as hot as it was yesterday.
Oh yes. That would have been miserable. It's actually much cooler, the breeze is breezier, the shade is more shadier. Everything is better today.
Everything's a little bit better. Coming into the home stretch now, fam. 2 to go. Next one's gonna be Blue Streak, which is the only true Woody in the entire park. Blue Streak is Cedar Point's oldest operating roller coaster, originally opened in 1964. It's only 78 feet tall, but it has a surprising amount of kick, particularly towards the back of the train. Bags and loose articles can be left in the designated bins right on the ride platform. Honestly, pleasantly surprised by that one. Wasn't too rough. It's actually an ACE roller coaster landmark. It was awarded that status in 2022. Not that that is the end-all be-all of a great coaster, but it speaks to how well it's been maintained that a lot of people really still like that ride. Raptor opened in 1994 as the tallest, fastest, and longest inverted coaster in the world, suspending riders beneath the track through 6 inversions and a pretty aggressive helix. 3 decades later, it still remains one of the most intense B&M inverts in operation. Bags and loose articles can be left in the designated bins right on the ride platform. Just getting off of Raptor, the park's inverted coaster made by B&M. Not our absolute favorite, but pretty good.
I liked the first half a lot, and the second half was a bit too whippy and tight for me.
Some people really like the intensity. I'm not one of those people. I like B&Ms to be smooth. But more importantly, that was our last coaster credit in the park. Woohoo! We've been doing some math here, and although we could only actually get on 17 coasters, one of those coasters had 2 tracks. So if we count both sides,
Blue and red of Gemini,
we will have gotten 18 credits. Out for a drive? We don't always make friends when we go to the theme parks, but when we do, they always end up in the vlog. Rule of thumb is, if the park has a skyway, we're doing it. Beautiful.
this is pretty.
Pretty.
I like this view of the park.
It's the only way you can get views like this
Nice
anymore.
transportation ride too. if
Yeah.
You're tired.
I dare say it may be the prettiest Six Flags park.
I think it's my favorite.
It's a pretty low bar.
Just down to the white.
Thank you.
5.
I think it's hilarious that they gave you white to paint with.
It's gotta cover the 5 though.
I know.
Yeah.
It was already white.
It's eggshell now. It's eggshell.
Eggshell. Silly me, silly me. The sun is beginning to get pretty low in that sky, and we are going to be packing it in soon. But before we leave, there is one more thing we absolutely have to do, because it is still the year of the train. Cool. Well, we were told there would be skydiving. I just didn't know what it would look like. Well, it's been 2 full days and almost 24 in-park hours, and we are burnt. I do think we had an even better time than we expected to have.
I did.
I do understand why people really love Cedar Point. It's not the most thematic as a whole, but there are little pockets that have a lot of theming, and beyond that, it has something for everyone, which is a staple of some of the best parks we visited, is just having something for everyone. Families, kids, adults, thrill seekers, all across the board. Cedar Point is a whole package park, and I do like that about it.
The ride ops and the staff we've interacted with have also altogether been really great.
Definitely.
Really energetic. Some really fun personalities out here, so I feel like maybe they send the best of their company here or something, I don't know.
Cedar Point has long been the flagship park, formerly of Cedar Fair, now of Six Flags, and they are still pouring a lot of love into it every day. Siren's Curse being the most obvious example. It's the newest ride in the park, and I do think it is our favorite ride in the park.
good.
There are fireworks going off here tonight as well, but unfortunately we have a 7-hour drive ahead of us, so we're gonna go ahead and cut out. Operations here have also been fantastic this weekend. which is how I know that I only have a minute to wrap this up before the next Raptor deploys and you won't be able to hear me anymore. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things. And the next time we see you, we'll be somewhere completely different. Until then, I've been Tim.
I'm Katie.
Every day
is a new adventure.
See you again soon. Bye.